Alright, we are live. How's everyone doing? Sorry for the little delay there. I'm not in my usual setup. I need to know from you guys. How's the audio? How's the video? Can you hear me okay? Can you see me okay? We've got a big one today, guys. I'm very, very excited for this. Thank you all for tuning in. Smash up the likes as we're coming in here. Bitcoin has broken above $24,000. And if we actually just recap literally what happened with today's candle, we started off the day at 22,200, and just a few minutes ago we hit 24,200. That makes this one of the biggest daily candles Bitcoin has seen in a bloody long time. It is up by 8.55%, and if we compare it to some of the rallies we had previously within one day, this was 7.23. Again, we're looking from candle opens to closes. 5.5, 5.5. This was in the 8s. That's 8.5 right there. So a very substantial candle, guys. Loud and clear, perfect. Thank you all very much, guys. Thank you for all the support as we're coming in here. Like I said, do me a favor, smash up the likes. This is the first live stream we've done in a little bit. Markets are hot. I know you're all as excited as I am, and here we are. We are now actually basically at the high that we set at the very beginning of this month. Bitcoin set this high right here. We've now managed to move up a little bit. I want to talk to you a little bit about where I think Bitcoin can go. Are we going to be blasting up towards $30,000 as the thumbnail? At the moment, the thumbnail might change, as the thumbnail suggests. Or are we looking at potentially finding some resistance and kind of dipping back down? You guys know the deal. Over the last few videos, I was actually bearish down here. And I was anticipating that we would end up breaking down. I was even in a short position, which I managed to close in a profit. But then I entered another short position up here, which was with a very small amount of money and with a very tight stop loss. So I lost a very small amount of money because I was expecting that this area could be resistance and drop the price lower. So that went on inside of VIP. Yes, believe it or not, I don't make money 100% of the time, and VIP saw how that developed. Like I said, the second trade, this trade that I traded down here, that was with quite a lot of money. Made some really good cash on that one. VIP saw how that trade progressed. But the second trade that I made, very small amount of money, very tight stop loss. Didn't lose much at all, but it's part of the game, right? And we are now breaking up. And what I think is, video's gone blurry. Guys, if the video goes blurry for any of you, please let me know. If it's just one person, then it's probably just a connection issue on your side. But someone's asking, what's the price target for a pullback? You know, the thing is, you know, if we're looking at a pullback right now, we have a lot of support below us. You know, we've got support on all sorts of different time frames. I want to point out the daily EMA ribbon very quickly. The daily EMA ribbon, we managed to see some really nice support coming off this support momentum indicator right here, where the price kind of basically just fell into it and has rocketed higher from here. So this is really good, and this actually kind of builds the case for support for Bitcoin because we're getting all these crossovers coming in now. So at the moment, with our 4-hour EMA ribbon, I think we're going to start seeing support here. You know, I mean, this is just going to keep curving up a little bit like this. Just within the next hours, really, within the next 12 hours, we're going to, I think, have some really nice strong support in the high 22K region. But to be honest, actually, I can keep talking about indicators, and I will. I'll talk about them later on, but for now, I think the real support that Bitcoin is probably going to be able to enjoy is just going to be sitting in this range. You see, when Bitcoin first hit this range, we were finding quite a lot of resistance here. All throughout the range, the whole range was resistance. That's why we dropped out of it. Now, if we manage to close above this level, and we have 3 hours left on this UTC candle, I don't know if you can see this, maybe my face is covering it. We got 3 hours left on this candle. If we're able to close above this level, well then, I think that this whole area could turn into support. Whereas previously it was resistance and the market had to get rejected, we could be looking at a situation where we find a little bit of support here and rally up into the $24,000 area. So that is definitely something that's got my attention. Like I said, I don't want to talk too much about indicators, but let's just throw it on anyway. Wow, guys, we are really tuned in with this video so far. If you are enjoying it, do me a favor and smash up the likes. If you appreciate this emergency live stream, I haven't eaten shit today. I've had a very, very long day, and I'm right here on the live stream with you guys. So if you do appreciate that, if you think that deserves a like, do me a favor and smash them up. You know, the other thing that I want to talk about in addition to the sideways support here is what our indicators are showing us. And if we take a look at the 4-hour Ichimoku cloud, we've blasted through it, and with this one set of price action today, we've closed up the Ichimoku cloud with just one day of price action. We've closed it up. This is going to be a green cloud tomorrow if we close anywhere around where we are now and trade here for like the next 4 to 8 hours. This is going to be a support cloud. We're going to be able to use that support cloud as early as next week, and I think that is also going to be something that could be very bullish for Bitcoin, because it kind of lines up with this range. You know, we had previously the support lining up with this range here. Take a look at this. We bounced off the green Kumo here, obviously one of the most common indicators that you see me talking about on this YouTube channel and in VIP and in Four Slice Gold, which is my free Telegram channel that you can join by clicking this link in the description down below. That will take you into my free Telegram channel where I give you more analysis on these markets around the clock free of charge. And by the way, if you are looking for a place to take advantage of all this volatility, OKX is offering you guys up to $30,000 in rewards, and these are super easy to get. Literally just registering an account on OKX will get you a mystery box worth up to $10,000. That's before you even deposit anything, and depositing $50 will get you another mystery box worth up to $10,000, which is absolutely ridiculous. This is by far one of the best places to be trading these markets in right now. Obviously, there's a million other options out there. You can Google it, but this one is phenomenal because they've been around for a very long time, since 2017. No drama, no issues, no hacks that I've seen. I've looked quite extensively, couldn't find any dirt on them, which is absolutely great when you're looking to put your money somewhere and trade it in some serious capacity. So if that's the kind of thing that appeals to you and you like free rewards, check out the link in the description here. Just pause the live stream and come right back, because I'm not going anywhere, legends. I'm here for a fair while. Ichimoku support potentially about to turn into something quite useful for Bitcoin, because it's lining up with this range. Again, we're building that beautiful confluence that you guys know I love to talk about, where when we have multiple different indicators showing us the same thing, you know, even on different time frames, you start to build a very, very bullish case, a very compelling case. And I think the other thing that we are potentially going to be seeing is this EMA ribbon on the 4-hour also aiding Bitcoin a little bit in this range, and that is all going to get quite exciting in the next hours. But the key thing is we need to see a close. You know, we've just broken above this level. I mean, it literally happened, if we look at the 5-minute time frame, I mean, it literally happened like, you know what, like 10-15 minutes before I even started this live stream. Very, very recent price action here. You know, and the thing is the last time that we were up here, I just want to make sure that we are grounding ourselves in reality. We did spend quite a lot of time above this resistance area previously. Actually, before I even show you this, it's worth just recapping what this resistance area even is. You know, this is going to be drawn differently by different people. I want to make this very clear with you guys, but I had this drawn in the same way for a very long time. I didn't change the way I drew it, and it's been correct. You know, and the reason it was correct, quite simply, legends, is because this is just quite straightforward. You know, page 1, chapter 1 technical analysis. That's what I base my entire life around. Just very, very basic, fundamental, you know, technical analysis. Nothing crazy, nothing particularly advanced. That's the way I like it. You know, and you can see that we had some very key interactions around this level, not only as resistance, but then also take a look at this. We managed to find support off this level as well. So that's why this green line marks the top of my resistance band. And if we take a closer look at what happened on something like the 5-minute time frame, guys, when we actually managed to break out above this range previously at the very beginning of this month in February, take a look at this, right? So we got that breakout. It actually looks exactly the same as today's breakout, to be honest. I mean, you know, just absolute rocket ship candle. We're on the 5-minute time frame, so this happened very quickly. Literally within the space of 10 minutes, Bitcoin jumps from 23.8 up to 24.3. Huge $400-500 gap right there that it bridges. Absolutely amazing. But then it actually stays above for quite a while. You know, we managed to stay above this line for 14 hours. 14 hours, very, very long time. And we even get back up above it again, but before the day closes, you know, we actually spent most of the day above the resistance. This is actually where, you know, it's almost a little bit poetic. We spent most of the day above the resistance, but again, on the UTC time zone, which is the main time zone for most financial markets, including crypto, we got a breakout right after midnight, and we dropped back below right before midnight. So we didn't get the daily close above 24k, which was a bit of a shame. And then Bitcoin ended up dropping back down. And the reason I'm pointing this out to you and just making sure that you're very aware of this is because we could definitely do the same thing again. That's why when people say we need to wait for the close, that's why they're saying it, is they're just kind of erring on the safety side, which is great, because when you've got money on the line, you want to be safe, right? A lot of the people in these markets, they just kind of start losing perspective of things that are very important. Mainly, the idea that, I think people don't even, really think about this, but if you lose, say 50% of your money, just as an example, you have to double it to break even, right? So, whenever you're losing money, you're working not just twice as hard. I mean, the numbers get pretty crazy. If you lose like 90% of your money, you got to pull back like a 1000% gain or something. I can't remember, but it's exponential. It gets very stupid very quickly, and that's all happening purely because it's harder to make money back than it is to it's harder to recover losses than it is to make losses, I guess. And that's why this is important. It's because a lot of people start getting carried away, but it's principles of like, let's wait for the daily close. It's principles of let's fucking not pile into something out of FOMO that actually end up saving people a lot of money. And you're not gonna make money if you're not saving your money in the first place. Shout out to you guys in the comments showing all the support today. Thank you all so much. Thanks for hitting up those likes, showing this live stream some engagement today, guys. Really do appreciate that with this emergency live stream. I'm going to be going through your questions shortly, taking a look at a few of them right now. Back to the price though. Like I said, that daily close is going to be absolutely essential. I do want to take a look at where the other markets are. This is actually where this analysis is going to start getting very, very interesting for you guys, because if we look at the S&P 500, for example, yes, it is moving up. It definitely is moving up, but nothing like Bitcoin. The S&P 500 is doing nothing like Bitcoin today, guys. 15th of February, this trading session started right here. We actually gapped down to start, and we've recovered back up now, but we're only where we were yesterday and the day before. We're not actually trading in any particularly interesting place on the S&P 500. Thank you, Montana, for commenting, comment, and subscribe. Do appreciate that. Every time you guys show some engagement with these live streams, guys, it does get pushed out to more subscribers that want to see this. So thank you all very much for giving this love to the YouTube channel. I do appreciate it. That's why I love doing this. S&P 500 not actually looking that like crazy strong, which to me is really interesting, because we know for a long time now, I've been talking about this for a while. Those of you that are subscribed are probably sick of me saying this, is the S&P 500 and Bitcoin are pretty well correlated, almost to the point where it looked like Bitcoin needed the S&P 500 to be healthy in order for Bitcoin to be healthy. And we know why that is. I've covered that with you guys extensively on this YouTube channel. It is because Bitcoin is a very risky asset, but Bitcoin's also quite large now, you see. And if Bitcoin's quite large and it's a risky asset, well, that means two things. Number one, it being large means that you need big money to enter the market in order to move it. That's something that I think a lot of people just don't even think about. And number two, because it's risky, you need people to have a risk appetite. And you only have people, having an appetite to take on risk when your more conventional, safer bets are doing well. I also, by the way, just yesterday, I was looking at US oil. This is a huge deviation from the video. We'll talk about this later on if you guys are interested in this, but I did want to point out to you guys that oil is kind of, in my opinion, take a look at this, like bit of a rising wedge dropping down, bit of a sideways continuation pattern before potentially dropping down. Oil has been in a downtrend since summer of last year. Obviously, remember, it went negative in the pandemic craze, which I still don't fucking understand, to be quite honest with you guys. I don't know how that was even possible, but we did see quite a crazy rally for oil. And what's very important to keep in mind, guys, again, I'm going to get back to the Bitcoin analysis in a second, but this is important, and I think you are going to appreciate me talking about this. If we look at when inflation really started to become a problem, like across the whole world, it kind of really hit in 2022, and that's important because all this while we saw extremely high oil prices. We saw oil rising up by quite a bit, and one of the functions of a higher oil price is higher inflation. And the reason that happens is, just put quite simply, if you've got a more expensive commodity like oil, it's going to cost more to transport goods. and if it costs more to transport goods, the margin of businesses will get smaller, which means they need to raise costs they need to raise prices that they charge consumers in order to maintain the same profit margin. The end result of that, what we call rising prices, is inflation. Right? Inflation isn't the printing of money. Inflation is the rising of prices, and that's exactly what we see with things like oil when they're rising up. But we see the reverse when oil is dropping, and that's why inflation has become less of a problem over these last, say, basically since then, since June. And you'll remember Biden very proudly going up to his, White House stand and talking about how he's reduced inflation and so on. It really started to happen around here of last year. So that's something important to keep in mind. As oil is dropping, inflation became less of a problem. That's why we've been seeing some easing from, the interest rate hikes and so on as well. They're not as aggressive as they were previously and so on. Just a very important bit of backstory, which, a lot of you in the market, maybe not you guys specifically, but a lot of crypto traders in the market might not actually care about. But it's when you understand these things that actually happen behind the scenes, because guys, ultimately this affects the market for Bitcoin directly, and there's no doubt about it. There's absolutely no room for interpretation on that. This directly affects Bitcoin, but most people don't even know that this is a factor that weighs in on the market. If you didn't know, by the way, let me know in the comments. Did you know about this? Just write I knew or write I didn't know, because I'm curious to know how many of you guys actually already knew about this or not, so that I can know if I should give you more background information like this. This is the kind of thing that really separates you from being a noob trader to someone who actually consistently safely makes money in the markets. That's what we're going for. I'm not going for, sexy 500% here, 700% there, 80% there, kind of gains. I'm looking for how can I consistently produce profits and be safe about it and so on, and how can I, help people get there as well. So that's really important. But let's head back to Bitcoin right here. Actually, no, not to Bitcoin, to the other things that affect it. What I'm curious about is the dollar as well. The dollar has actually managed to break out. It's been showing a lot of strength, and again, S&P 500 is doing okay, but Bitcoin's leading. And I think that these are really interesting factors that are taking hold of the market right now, where Bitcoin, in the face of things that generally, S&P 500 is all right, so fair enough, but the dollar's been rising up, right? That doesn't really make sense to me, how Bitcoin can be so strong on a day like this when the dollar's been rising up. It clearly looks like Bitcoin's just kind of moving in its own way right now. I'm sure we're going to have 1,000,001 news articles about why this is happening shortly, but obviously it doesn't really matter. The end result is that we've just blasted straight through resistance, and I want to take a look at where this thing could go now. This is where the discussion gets really interesting. If we take a look at, say, $25,000, the reason that I've got this level highlighted, if we zoom out, is that this is actually the high that Bitcoin set. This is a market cycle high that Bitcoin set in August of last year. So very, very important time, guys, for Bitcoin right here, where we saw the price rise up to $25,000 before then dropping all the way back down to $18,000, rising up for this high and then the FTX high, and then collapsing down into the crypto abyss, as Crypto Kirby would say it. Shout out to still probably the best analyst I've ever watched in my life. And so this is a very, very important resistance level for Bitcoin, because this is the cycle high. And what we've actually managed to do with this trend so far is, see, we had a series of highs, right? We had a high right here, we had a high right here, and of course we had the main high up here. And with our trend, one by one, we've been breaking those highs. We broke this high right here, then we had this high to break. We broke this high right here, now we have this high to break. We're potentially getting up there again. There are only 3 highs that we needed to worry about here, and we've broken 2 of them already, and we're coming for the 3rd one right now. Now the thing is we've got a very real double top scenario potentially on the cards here that could send Bitcoin down. I think a lot of people are going to be expecting that. A lot of people are going to be trading that. I think a lot of people are going to see, potentially a $25,000 Bitcoin and say, you know what? I think I want to sell. I think I want to hedge my bets a little bit here. I think I want to take some profits off the table. You think about the people that accumulated down here. They're going to want to, and you guys will know this very, very well if you were subscribed to the YouTube channel, during this range. I was extremely vocal the whole time that I was expecting Bitcoin to rise up. I was very, very vocal about it. I felt like the only fucking cunt that was talking about this stuff. Felt like absolutely nobody else was on the same page with me, and that's actually what strengthened my opinion even more, where everyone was just too damn bearish, and I was like, you know what, that's not how markets work. You know, we have to go up. And I was calling for 40,000. I was calling for 25. You know, and one of the things, yeah, is that, you know, people that have bought up here are probably going to want to be taking some profits up here, but, and this is where I'm actually quite happy about what we've gotten here, is that I think we could have already seen that on this rip down. I think we could already be in this situation where anyone who really kind of wanted to take profits in this market, anyone who wanted to offload their Bitcoins, has had a really good chance to do so on this, you know, throughout this whole range right here, including the sideways that we did for a few days as well. Okay, I wasn't the only one, but there were very, very few. There were very, very few, and you know that, because you guys have been around. You know that very, very few people were talking about it. And so, you know, now that we've potentially had some of that selling pressure, you know, take hold on the market, well, now that we're rallying back up, we might have a decent chance at breaking this resistance. And, you know, just from here to our resistance level, by the way, there's a pretty nice gap. You know, from here to our resistance level, we're looking at like a nice 5% gap here. Really good. You know, trading a move like this alone on 10x leverage is already a 50% profit, right? $10,000 in becomes $15,000 out. Very, very impressive. But that's not even the fun part, guys. The fun part is what comes afterwards, because if we manage to break that resistance level, I don't see any resistance for Bitcoin until, you know, the $30,000 level. I just don't. I think it could be a very easy ride. In fact, I think what we've seen today would look like, you know, a child playing around in a sandpit compared to, you know, like some big fucking beefy dude on a Harley riding in, you know what I mean, like with a big puffy leather jacket, you know, compared to a little kid just like, you know, playing with a little toy motorbike, you know, in a sandpit. I think that's what it could end up making this look like, because this is a huge range that Bitcoin has never traded in. Look at all of the price history Bitcoin has ever had in this price range. There's right here where we did nothing other than rise up, and there's right here where we did nothing other than drop down and then swiftly rise back up, and again over here, just drop down. Bitcoin just doesn't do anything in this gap right here, and we are right on the edge of it right now. Guys, smash up the fucking likes for that. Smash up the likes. That is absolutely huge. You know, if that's the kind of thing that excites you, because we are in a huge opportunity in this market right now. You know, where we're right on the edge of it, and I think that, you know, looking at a move like this is a phenomenal trading opportunity. Now, you have to be careful of it, right? Because if you want to trade something like this, you could end up seeing the price go up, deviate, and then come back down. That would be probably the most typical thing that Bitcoin can do, right? And we know that very, very well, because that's been Bitcoin's star card that it's been playing for a very, very long time. As we rise above our resistance level just a little bit, we maybe even stay above it for a few days, maybe even a week, but we don't get significantly above it, and then we break back down. Very classic deviation. But as long as you're watching out for stuff like that, as long as you're choosing your entries wisely, and as long as you're, most importantly, not trading with sums of money that are too large to where you can't eat the losses, then you're actually potentially looking at a really nice setup. And this is definitely something that I'm interested in trading. I think there's a very high chance that I'm going to be trading a move like that. I'm going to be telling you guys who are in VIP all about it, and I'm going to be making that move on OKX. I really want you guys to check this out, because there is a limited time offer running on OKX right now with up to 30k in rewards, and that is absolutely huge to be able to take advantage of in this market right now, where you can take advantage of up to $30,000 in rewards just for signing up. Just for signing up, you get up to 10k in a mystery box. For depositing $50, you get up to 10k again in a mystery box, and if you start trading, you can boost that up to 30. That is absolutely phenomenal. Way easier to get these rewards than pretty much any other exchange that I know of. And these guys are solid. These guys are rock solid. They've been around for a very, very long time. This is where I'm going to be trading this move if it comes, and it pays to be ready, right? It pays to be ready to trade a move like that. This is where a lot of opportunity lies, in my opinion. It doesn't get any clearer than this. You know, when we have big price ranges that the price just teleports through, you know, we have huge opportunities in the market. It's just that simple. It is just that simple. And that is, I think, where so much opportunity is potentially going to be lying in this market. So that's definitely what I am most excited to see. Now, if we do get rejected, of course, we have to still entertain this possibility. If we do get rejected, guys, then we are going to have a good amount of support. We didn't really take advantage of the support on this occasion here, which was a disappointment. But if we do come back down here, I am still going to expect support here nonetheless. Hopefully that means we can kind of mount another attack. And if we do something like that, we're actually going to be forming another beautiful pattern that you guys know I love on this YouTube channel if you've been subscribed, which is an ascending triangle, where we are hitting our resistance areas at the same level, but our support keeps getting higher. And one of the reasons that this is a very bullish pattern is, to me, it kind of signifies that pressure is kind of narrowing and trying to like make Bitcoin explode to the upside. And obviously that is a very exciting prospect. That is a very exciting prospect for these markets. So yeah, that's definitely something that I'm looking at. If we end up failing our support, then I will be looking at Bitcoin potentially falling down to the mid-low 21k region, which is exactly where we found support just now. But I think that seeing another rejection off this level, we're probably, I don't know if we'd be able to hold. It might turn into like a bit of a head and shoulders pattern that looks something a little bit like this. But bottom line, I think that one of the key things that I talk about in these markets is that when the market moves in directions like this, we've got basically a window of opportunity open for the bulls. But if the bulls don't take it, then it's almost like you're playing tennis and the ball is in the court of the bulls right now. If they take advantage of it, great, good shit, we can have a home run, we can really pull something magical off. But if they don't take advantage of it, the ball's going to be hit back into the court of the bears. It's almost like, all right, we managed to get the price up to resistance. You didn't do anything with it. Now it's my turn. And that's how the markets kind of work between bulls and bears. If you don't take an opportunity, the bears will notice that. If the bulls don't take an opportunity to drive the price higher, the bears will notice that. They'll be sniffing out the bullshit. They'll be knowing that there might be a little bit of weakness here. And they will take advantage of it. So that is definitely something that that is worth taking into consideration. Muhammad is asking, is OKX actually real? OKX is one of the most real exchanges that are out there, mate, because they've been around for so long. Just Google it. They have been around for so long. They weren't on this name. They were OKEX. So they just removed the E from their name when they rebranded. So basically still the same name. These guys have been around for a very long time. And with no drama. It's actually very impressive. The reason that you haven't heard of them is because they were very big in the Korean markets, but now they're moving into the West, and obviously that's where we are. So if that's something that you're interested in, then go ahead and check them out with the link in the description down below. I also want to just remind you guys that, by the way, when you do start trading on OKX, there's a little quiz that you have to do in order to trade on margin. Super small. Don't worry about it. Just give it your best shot. Put in whatever answers you can, you'll be okay. But obviously make sure that you know what you're doing, because any form of trading is quite risky. I've got someone here telling me my camera is lagging. If anyone else sees that, please let me know. But I'm actually monitoring the feed and it looks pretty good to me. So it might just be on your side, bro. I'm not actually sure. Let's go back to the price of Bitcoin here. And as we're just going along, guys, I do want you to start dropping your questions in the comments. I love to make these live streams interactive, where you can ask me what you want me to talk about, any particular charts you want me to look at, any concepts, really. That's what I like. Any concepts, really, that you want me to cover. Sanjeev is asking, what's my price target for the next 3 months? Look, here's the deal, and the reason I don't give long-term price predictions is because I don't fucking know. In order to predict what's going to happen, in 3 months, I need to predict what's going to happen in 2 months and 29 days. And in order to do that, I need to go to 2 months and 28 days from now, and so on and so forth. It's just, in my opinion, quite a pointless activity, because, look, I certainly think, and I've been saying this for a very long time since we were down here, like I said, that we are going to be able to hit levels like 28k, 30k, potentially even up to 40. I've been saying that for a very long time, been saying it on the record, been saying it when my back was against the wall and everyone disagreed with me, and I still feel the same thing is possible. But that could happen very quickly, and the market could drop back down, And, you know, that could all happen within the space of 2 months. And we're not even in May yet. And May is 3 months from now, right? That's your question. So it's really hard to say, because if that happens quickly, then okay, we're going to be down, we're potentially setting new lows. I don't know if that's going to happen. We could just go bullish forever and, you know, ride off into the sunset. You know, have a beautiful, you know, like, we get back to the yacht parties, and hopefully it happens, because, you know, summer's coming around. I want to have some fun this summer. I want to have some cash to spend, guys. So let's hope that happens. But at the same time, it's, I don't know. I don't want to say it's probably not, but I'm not putting my bets on that. I'm certainly not expecting that if Bitcoin gets up here that we're going to hold the highs, you know, and kind of trade sideways or continue going up. I'm not expecting that. I'm certainly open to it. And when we get there, if we get there, I'm going to look at it with a fresh mind, with a fresh perspective. And, you know, if that's what the market looks like it's going to do, then I'm going to trade it, and I'm going to trade it up. But it's really hard to say. So it's not really something that I want to entertain at the moment, you know, because again, I mean, you know, we could do that very slowly. You know, we could do something like this where we don't quite get up to 30k, we get up to 28, and then we're like slowly grinding down, find some support, we kind of deviate below our support over here, we find some support here, and then sideways and then up, and we're only really getting up to that 30k range by, you know, September of this year. You know, like, that's entirely possible too. There's just so many ways that the market can take this, and I don't like long-term price predictions for that reason. It's only short-term price predictions that I'm in the business of making, because it's also much easier to make money off them, in my opinion, and much easier to make a lot of money off them as well. And I'm not talking about day trading. Obviously, I'm not a degenerate. I haven't zoomed in on small time frames other than to just make a point with the 5-minute time frame, because I don't trade such short time frames. I like to keep my money safe. Again, like I said, that is my primary responsibility, and you only really appreciate that if you're trading with larger amounts of money. But you've got to treat it like it is a large amount of money, even if you're not there yet, because unless you do that, you're not going to you're not going to get a large amount of money. You know, you got to safeguard it, you know. So you know, I'm always focused on the kind of shorter term stuff, and I also feel like you can just talk about it with a lot more certainty. You know, like, I don't know how or if we're getting up to 30k, but I can see very clearly how Bitcoin could get up to 25, and if we break it, how we could rise up. Why do I need to analyze more than that? This analysis alone will net me a potential 17% price move, which I can trade on 10 times leverage, pull a 170% gain. That is nearly 3x on my money. If I put $10,000 into that trade, I'm walking away with 270 if I play it correctly. I will be doing that on OKX. Check it out with the link in the description down below. Be prepared with your huge rewards of up to 30k by following the link in the description. I want you guys to be ready to take advantage of it if it's something you're interested in before the price action happens, not afterwards. Because a lot of people make that mistake where they want to get in, but they just kind of get a little bit lazy. They decide that they don't want to do the 30-second sign-up process to get all these free rewards until it's actually too late, you know, which is obviously a very bad idea. Very, very comprehensive exchange, super cool, so definitely worth checking out right there. And of course, it supports the channel too, so that is always much appreciated. Let's see what else we've got here as far as questions in the comments. Yeah, there is some lag. Okay, guys, I think what I'll do then is potentially just turn off the camera. Is the lag also on my screen recording, or is it just from my face cam? You guys want me to look at Shiba? Let's take a look at Shiba, because I know Elon was tweeting about why do I have Australian dollar here? That's so weird. I know Elon was tweeting out some Shiba stuff, which people were getting very excited over. I don't know which chart I should be using for this. I guess currency.com would be a decent one. Are we looking at this against the dollar or against Bitcoin? Which, fuck it, we'll do both. We'll do both. Yeah, so Shiba's up pretty nicely too. Let's see what Shiba's day looks like in percent. Yeah, so Shiba's basically doing exactly what Bitcoin has done. From its low to its high, it's doubled. So that's very, very good. Obviously, it's going to pull gains like this because it also crashes like an absolute total shitcoin, which is of course what it is, but we all know that already. That's not new information. it is kind of right in the middle of a range right now. I know a lot of people get excited when the price has already made big moves like this, but there's really like I'm seeing this resistance right here, which we're kind of just piercing right now. I think that there's a little bit of trouble for Shiba right here. We can actually probably see this on the VPVR. Let's look at the VPVR. I'm seeing a little bit of trouble for Shiba. Yeah, it kind of ends right here, right? Take a look at this. You can see it actually very clearly if we move the chart a little bit. Kind of ends for Shiba like right around here. We're entering a big gap in volume. So I think if Shiba is able to get a little push up to 14, 15, it should be able to jump right up to 20. And that's where I'm seeing that next area of resistance. So right now, it doesn't look very good to me because we haven't broken that resistance. But if we do, this is a rocket ship. That's the way I'm seeing it. I am seeing it as a rocket ship. If we do manage to break above this kind of... See, this is the thing, is like we stretch this out, we haven't actually broken above. Look at where the price is. We haven't actually broken above the well, we kind of have, but not quite, so I think there's another huge opportunity here. This is way more than Bitcoin's move, but you can't trade it with the same leverage either, because this is a much smaller coin, so that's something else to keep in mind that I think a lot of people who get excited right now, they might forget and be walking into problems with. So that is something that I want you guys to bear in mind with this chart. Of course, Shiba also available to trade on OKX as well, as a derivative as well, which is absolutely phenomenal. So this entire move with Bitcoin, with Shiba, everything we're discussing, you can take advantage of on OKX with your huge rewards. So definitely check them out. This is the place that I will be executing these trades on as well. Let me know if that answers your questions about Shiba. If you have been enjoying this live stream so far, guys, do me a favor and smash up the likes. It goes a very long way. It's a little click for you, and it's the world to me. So I do appreciate it very much when you guys do that. There's a 1,000 SHIB on Binance for good leverage. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't make a difference. It just kind of multiplies the price, so it's a bit easier to read, but it's the same thing. Everyone's talking about LUNC. I've never heard of this before. Oh, okay. Okay, it's Terra. Okay, I have heard of this, my bad. You see how unplugged I am from the shitcoin universe. Yeah, it's basically moving the same as... How did I not know Terra's abbreviation? That's funny. Yeah, it's basically moving the same as Shiba, and it's in the same situation too. There's got to be a chart with more price history. I don't know how old Terra is. There must be something with more. Yeah, there we go. KuCoin. If we draw out a box, yeah, we're basically, so Terra's quite a bit further away from its resistance area, but it's the same deal, where I think that if Terra does break resistance, we're probably looking at, rising up to something like this. That's what I'm seeing for Terra. So to get to the top of its resistance range, this is before breaking it, just to get to the top of the resistance range, I'm seeing a 3.5% move, followed by then, yeah, about a 25% opportunity. So there's definitely something here. This could definitely turn into something for Terra, but at the same time, we're not. I mean, to be fair, 3.5% isn't that bad. It's definitely not that bad. Easy on the degenerate talk. Who do you think you are, Kirby? Some of us love 5-minute candles. Well, in an alternate universe, I'm probably Kirby's son. So, you know what? I'll take that. Well, I learned, like, most of my mindset as a trader from him. I was in his VIP group for a very long time. He was in mine. I learned a lot from him. I watched his videos religiously. Don't really watch them anymore. Don't have time. But I agree with pretty much everything that comes out of his mouth because he's fucking right about basically everything he says. So, you know, the degenerate talk is part of the deal. It's part of the deal, yeah. So, Terra here, potentially looking at a little gap right here. I want to move back. This is a lot of shitcoin talk for Crypto Kirby, those of you asking for his name. There's a lot of shitcoin talk for about a 5-10 minute time period. Let's move back to Bitcoin here. Talk a little bit more about this. This is obviously where the real interesting stuff is, in my opinion. I'll go back to the shitcoins in a minute. XRP, that's the mother of all shitcoins. So we'll go to that in just a second. The father of all shitcoins. Is it a mother or a father? I don't know. But anyway, we are now seeing a very substantial rise up, and I was putting it into perspective for those of you that didn't join the live stream at the very beginning. Just go ahead and rewind, by the way. There's a lot of important information here. You know, where I was talking about how today's daily candle is actually the biggest that we've had in quite a while, in a very, very long time. It's the biggest candle that we've had in a long time, and that I think is absolutely essential to keep in mind, because if we are now kind of recontinuing such a big you know, kind of rally, we could be expecting more big candles like this. Because if you take a look at what happened previously, you know, we just blasted right through resistance here, pretty heavy resistance as well, I would say. You know, so potentially looking to do something like that again right now, also not off the cards. Seems like that's what Bitcoin does, isn't it? Is when you really expect it to, you know, find resistance in a particular range, it just blasts right through it, which is really weird. But that's just what Bitcoin does, I guess, and that is something which which potentially you know, requires some attention. Let's take a look at some of our moving averages zoomed in. So daily right here, curving up again. That's nice to see. Hourly, yeah, I think this could be quite useful. Looking at some of this hourly support at the bottom of this range, which starts at about 22.7. Someone's constantly asking me to say price levels, but I actually do say the price levels most of the time. So you can stop now. You're getting very annoying with your spam. Most of the time I do say price levels. Obviously sometimes I don't, because I'm talking about like 5 different things and I'm not remembering that some of you are using small screens. But I do try and keep it in my mind as much as I can. Look at this. Look at this. 24.2. And we are basically above that height. We actually set a new high today, just recently. But we are basically above the high. That high was set. Let's look at the OHLC up here. The high was 24,262. Yeah, I know you've asked many times, Ben, and I read your comment, but at the same time I'm talking about other stuff. So, you know, you're not the only person commenting here. 24,262, and we were basically like $60 away from that a few seconds ago. So we're very, very close to the top right here, and I think that, yeah, if we are able to get above it with some meaningful price action, you know, if we zoom in, look at this, right? So, and it's interesting if we take a look at how this worked for Bitcoin earlier today. You know, we saw this right here. Yeah, so 5 minutes we kind of retraced, came back up, retraced again, and then blasted up. I'm not saying that we're going to do that again, because it's almost like too much in a day, isn't it? But if we did something like that, second blast here, not dropping as low and then blasting up, that's basically what happened last time. It's just one of the many ways that we can break up, but it's quite clear that we're facing some problems here because this was the high that Bitcoin set at the beginning of the month. But it's not a very important high, which you'll hopefully know very well if you've been watching this channel for some time, if you've been subscribed, because of this price action. This price action here didn't really stop where we're trading right now. Yes, we did get one high right here, but on this occasion we got a fair bit higher, and on this occasion we got like, you know, $1,000 higher. So you know, it's not necessarily a good enough reason for the market to top out right now. You know, and that's why I think that we could be able to rise up a fair bit higher than where we are at the moment. I'm just imagining and trying not to laugh at how many shorts got liquidated. You know, the thing is like when we get sentiment that kind of reflects this of, you know, like laughing at people that are shorting and so on, you know, both sides get cocky, right? I think this is an important thing to keep in mind. My mistake, by the way, was, see, I was in a short position which made more than 30% profit. I was very happy with it. I locked in some really nice gains on that trade before it closed. Made some really nice money there. When I was in a short position, I was looking at the sentiment that we had down at these price levels, literally just like a day or two ago when we were down here. And one of the things I noticed is that bears were getting very cocky. You know, everyone was bragging about being in a short position, including myself, obviously, as well. And you know the deal. It's like, I don't like to be on the same page as everybody else. You know, I don't like to be in agreement with everybody else. And that's why those of you that were in VIP, you would have seen that I ended up closing a bit of my position down here, you know, and putting my stop loss at break even. It's because of factors like this. When we see any side, whether it's the bullish side or the bearish side, getting a little bit too cocky, having sentiment like, I'm trying not to laugh at how many people got liquidated. You know, like that kind of... See, the thing is when you have that kind of sentiment, you're probably just starting to get a little bit too... You know, it's getting to your head a little bit. You know, decision making might be getting compromised. You know, and that can turn into a problem. So, you know, that's the mistake I made, is I paid some attention to this, but not enough. You know, and if I paid more attention to it, I could have closed my whole position down in a profit. But actually, you know, the rest of my position was closed at break even, which is still good. Obviously, it means I didn't lose any money, but it wasn't closed at break even. It was closed at a 5% profit. Same thing. You know, it's obviously good, but it could have been a lot better. And that's something which, you know, I'm going to be looking out for over here. We're going to see this reflected in things like the fear and greed index, you know, depending on what happens here. We're already at a reading of 53. And I think that's really important, because this is probably going to shoot up to 60 or more, you know, when this updates in 2.5 hours. Do you think I'll still be live streaming at that time, guys? Let me know if you want me to live stream until that updates. Throw up a like on this live stream if you think that's going to happen, if you want me to do that. You know, we were up at like 61 at the very end of January, you know, so we can definitely get back up there again. And, you know, let's take a look at where the long and short ratio is as well. Definitely an important metric that I also want to take a look at. I analyze this. You're saying I need to eat. I know, man. I am getting very hungry right now. But the game is the game. I'm here. You know, we're skewed long quite a bit. 57% of retail on Binance are long. 53.5% of top traders on Binance are long. And Bybit, 55% are long. You know, we're definitely skewed to the upside here. And, you know, that's another sign. Is like, if we start to see that this... Take a look at this, right? So if we just go back to... I've got this, like, little list on Twitter. It's not, like, comprehensive or anything, but... You know, look at this. We start seeing sentiment like this, and okay, people are just fucking around making jokes. That's fine, but... If we start to see some real cocky attitude... And you actually only really see this very clearly if you look at the comments. You know, so... If I look at, for example... you know, someone that's putting... You know, a tweet out like this, you know, like a bit of a meme tweet. You look at the comments and just kind of like see if people are like really letting it get to their head. This is one of the things I quite enjoy doing, because it's actually so reliable. See, like right here we've got like quite level-headed, you know, replies. Yeah, something like this definitely. Okay, but this is spam. This is a spam tweet. I think this is too early because this guy just tweeted a few minutes ago. But if we try and find something that... I just want to see if we can find an example of it. By the way, I thought this tweet was fucking hilarious. Future of France up here, future of finance up here. Absolutely phenomenal. Super, super fun. Yeah, here's a very, very bullish tweet. You know, and to be fair, it's fairly level-headed right now. I mean, there's... Okay, I mean, obviously people are having fun, but... We're not looking at, like... you know, teasing the fucking bears and like laughing at anyone that ever sold Bitcoin or anything like that, you know. So from that, and that's what I'm looking for. When I start to see that, I'm interested in expecting some sort of reversal, but we're not getting that at the moment. So yeah, I think, you know, according to that, we could have a little bit more upside. Just, it's very unscientific sentiment analysis. You know, we're just looking at how people are talking, how much confidence people seem to have, and so on. But it takes you a long way. You'll be surprised if you take a look at that kind of stuff. Let's see what else we have here. If I'm gonna stay for 2 more hours, then we gotta send me food. Watch my blood sugar levels. Yeah, I mean, I'll be okay. I'll be okay. I have had a very long period of my life where I was fasting quite aggressively for, you know, like 18, 20 hours a day, because I wanted to lose fat, and it worked. But it was so stupid because my metabolism is still fucked from that. And that wasn't so smart. But no, I'll eat at the end of this. This is no problem. I can wait. I'm chilling, guys. I am doing totally okay. Let's see if we have any other suggestions. I do want to look at Ethereum. I know Ethereum is something that I haven't touched on for quite a while. Ethereum's right at heavy resistance. There's actually really heavy resistance, because if we zoom out, we can see that this is one of those things that, like, you know, I was talking about Shiba and Terra, you know, how they've got this kind of last bit of resistance and then potentially a really big blast off. So Ethereum's got the same thing, but it still has 8% according to my chart until it breaks resistance. After that, yeah, we're looking at a beautiful rise. By the way, I want to give you guys a really, really important message right now. This is a big price gap, 39%. You know, I talked to you guys about, you know, like 17% price gap on Bitcoin. I want to trade it on OKX. I want to make, you know, 170% profit, whatever. That's absolutely amazing. But something like 39% or like 40-50%, which is what we saw being possible with Terra, is obviously way better, but it comes with more risk. And here's the thing. I really need to make this point to you guys. You know, otherwise I wouldn't be doing my job properly here today. You know, if we take a good look at Terra and the gap on this chart from the top of this resistance to the bottom of this support, what am I talking about? It's 23%. Where did I get 50 from? Was it Terra? No, it was Shiba. My bad. Sorry, I got them. They're all the same thing to me. They're all fucking shitcoins. You know, I don't see them differently. That's why I make mistakes like this. But if we look at the gap between these two, and obviously it's the same thing, right? For Bitcoin, the gap is 25 to 30. For Ethereum, the gap is whatever I just showed you. For Terra, it's what I just showed you. For Shiba, it's this. You know, we're looking at like a 47% move here, but you know, the thing is we're looking at like fairly similar upside. You know, that Ethereum is potentially able to enjoy, and I'll just talk about that more in a second. But if you look at like the volatility, you know, down to where we are right now, minus 84%, down to its absolute low, down by minus 91%, this gets exponentially more fucked up the more you drop, guys. And if we look at something similar right now from Ethereum, from its all-time high to where we are now, we're down by minus 65%. You're looking at a much safer asset. Like, I know that they both dumped horribly, but it's a really big difference, guys, between minus 65% and whatever Shiba had. I forgot, like minus 85. It's not an extra 20% down. You know, to put this in perspective, if we go an extra 20% down for Ethereum now, we're down here. All right, we're down at 1,300. But for Ethereum to have a minus 85% drop, we're actually down at $600. We didn't even get that low in the first place. So it's not like, you know, from where we are right now to pull off a minus 85% drop, we have to drop down by another fucking 60%. And we're already down by 60% from the all-time high. This is a really important thing that I need you guys to keep in mind if you're subscribed to this YouTube channel, and it's what I covered with you at the beginning of this live stream as well, which is that when you're losing money, it wasn't the beginning, it was somewhere early though, which is that if you're losing money, you're working 2, 3, 4, fucking 100 times harder to make your money back. It's way harder to make your money back if you lose it. All right, and it's just basic math. It's just basic math. All right. If you start off with $100 and then you lose, I don't know, 30% of it, in order to get back up to $100, you've got to make like 50% back. All right. If you lose 30% of your money, you got to make 50% profit just to break even. You know, it's pretty crazy. If you lose 80% of your money, you want to get from $20 back up to 100, you got to pull a 5 times gain. You have to pull a 5 times gain. That is no small task. You've lost 80%, you got to pull a 5 times gain. Absolutely enormous. You know, how crazy it gets. So when we're looking at situations like this, we've got a really nice area of support here for, resistance here for Ethereum. Historically, this level's been very important, stretching all the way back to very early 2021. We found some resistance here, interacted with this level a little bit. Nothing too crazy, but it was later on in summer where this became very interesting because Ethereum found a huge area of support here, and again, and again, and it kicked off the rally to the all-time high. I cannot stress enough how important this level is for Ethereum, guys. This is absolutely enormous. We found support here again on the way down. And then we found resistance here consistently with one deviation up here. And this was a long deviation, by the way. This was a long fucking deviation. The market was not being kind right here. This deviation lasted like 1 week, a little bit more. You know, we saw the deviation here, and then we continued traveling back down. You know, this is one of those situations where, look again, resistance here, resistance recently. Is there going to be resistance now? You know what I mean? This is a really, really important level, in my opinion, and I firmly believe that if Ethereum is able to break it, we are looking at potentially a very explosive rally. Okay, I think we're potentially looking at something absolutely huge happening for Ethereum that could really make it very, very exciting to trade, and that is something that I think, you know, is way more appealing than the same opportunity on a shitcoin like Shiba. And the reason it's way more interesting than something like Shiba is because you're trading something that's overall a lot less risky. It's a much larger market, it's got more liquidity, it's much less subject to manipulation. I don't actually know how Shiba was made, but if you're looking at a coin like Doge, for example, I might be wrong about this, I don't really care if I am, but you're not looking at a coin, you know, which is, you know, put it this way, Vitalik can't just like print a bunch of Ethereum tokens tomorrow and have nobody question him. You know, like Ethereum is very big. There's some burden of like social justification that would need to be made. You know, but if you're looking at, you know, a meme coin, the owner can do anything they like. I'm not saying that's the case for Shiba or Doge in particular. It's definitely the case for shitcoins like XRP and so on, and it probably is the case for coins like Shiba and Doge as well. But that's just one element of it that really make them very subject to quite, you know, ridiculous levels of manipulation. You know, and Ethereum has the same vulnerability too. I want to be very clear with you guys. You might not be ready to hear that. Maybe that's not a discussion that you want to have today, but Ethereum has the same vulnerabilities too. You know, one of the only coins that doesn't is Bitcoin, obviously. But the thing about Ethereum is, again, it's way bigger, way more established. You're looking at basically the same gain. This is actually the point that I want to make to you guys, is you're looking at gain. So, you know, if you're not here looking for fucking lottery tickets, but you actually genuinely want to make some money, you actually genuinely want to trade and you know, put yourself in a good position and you know, treat your money well, you're going to look at assets like Ethereum over assets like Shiba, especially when the upside is so similar, but the downside, the risk, is so much higher in one direction. If you don't pay attention to stuff like that, and you're just like, oh shit, Elon Musk tweeted about Shiba, let me go buy it, I promise you, you ain't making any fucking money in these markets. I'm just telling you right now. You're not making any money in these markets, if that's your perspective. You might, if you're lucky, make some money temporarily, but you're thinking like an absolute idiot. I'm just telling it to you straight. This is what you need to hear. You are trading like an absolute idiot, and you will lose it. Because the same mentality that made you, you know, buy a little lottery ticket and for the first time in a while actually make some money is the same mentality that will make you buy another lottery ticket tomorrow and lose it all again. I don't make the rules. This is just how it is. I've been in these markets for 6 years now. Alright? A very large proportion of my life. I've coached many traders. I've been running my VIP group for a while. I've seen how it's gone for many people. There are never really exceptions to it. They exist, but you're probably not one of them. You know, let's just be honest. Let's just not make our lives hard when there's opportunities like something like Ethereum. Why give yourself problems? You know, why give yourself drama? That's my perspective. That's my perspective. What is Meta V? I'm seeing so many comments about Meta V. I don't keep up with all these shitcoins, guys. I don't even know what this is. Yeah, I don't know what this is. You're gonna have to clarify which one you want me to look at. Anyway, let's stick on Ethereum for a sec. 2,500 to 2,700, someone mentioned, could be a target for Ethereum. I think that makes a lot of sense. I think that, you know, this is a very logical area of resistance for Ethereum. And I think if we're looking at some sort of huge bear market rally, that it would make a lot of sense for it to end around there. Again, this is assuming that very long-term scale you're bearish, but, you know, kind of more mid-term scale, you're expecting that the market might be able to rise up a little bit more. Yeah, Mohammed's enjoying this. I'm dissing Shiba and all the other shitcoins. Of course I am. Of course I am. They're all totally bullshit. Is it a reasonable time to start scaling into Bitcoin or Ethereum? Long term, not interested in day trades. I mean, look, Ethereum, like I just showed you, is down by 65% from its high. Bitcoin, if we take a look at it, is down, oh, also 65%, interesting, from its high. You know, so, you know, what you don't want to do is buy Bitcoin when it's, you know, I mean, this depends on who you are, but generally, you're not going to want to buy Bitcoin when it's up by, you know, 20% from its all-time high. You know, you want to buy it when it's low, right? Obviously, the catch is that no one's interested. No one's interested when it's low. It's not sexy enough. It's not good-looking enough. It's not exciting enough. But you're trying to make money, right? You're not looking to sniff some fucking coke and feel some emotional adrenaline or whatever. You know, some emotional high, some adrenaline. You're looking to make money. So if you want to make money, you want to look at assets that you believe in the long term, and you want to look at buying them when they're cheap. So, you know, I believe in Bitcoin. I love Bitcoin. If I wasn't in Bitcoin right now, I would for sure be buying. That's very obvious. You know, but it depends on you. Because I think there's a very high possibility that, you know, Bitcoin, yeah, you might get a decent entry now. You might even be in a profit in a month or two from now. But would you be able to stomach Bitcoin dropping down to $3,000, $8,000, $14,000? Would you be able to sit through that? You know, you can talk all high and mighty about buying Bitcoin right now when we're up more than 50% from our market low, but is that still an exciting idea when we've just dropped from 24k down to 12 and you're down 50% and it's happened in 1 month? Are you still interested in Bitcoin then? That's the question you need to ask yourself, and it's not something I can answer for you. I know I'm here, I know I'm not going anywhere, but I know that most people can't stomach that kind of thing, and it's still on the cards, and you're foolish if you act like it's not. You know, Bitcoin very well might not have set its high yet. We just don't know that yet. It's hard to know. It's very hard to make that conclusion at the moment. So, someone's asking for Gala. I know that this is something that's been catching a lot of people's attention at some point. Don't really know when. Again, I'm so unplugged from the altcoin market. Gala is facing heavy resistance right now. Look at this. Heavy resistance. This is actually pretty big. Like, I wanted to draw the resistance like this. Between 4.5 cents to 5.1 cents. But actually, we need a log scale for this, don't we? But actually, like, the resistance kind of, like, goes up to here. Up to 6 cents, basically. Could it rise up within this range? Absolutely, yeah. And that's probably like, what, 30 to 50% if it gets to the top of this range. About 26% if it gets to the top of this range. It gets exciting if we get above it, because then we're looking at, you know, potentially like a 40% move to this consolidation area. This is a really bad shitcoin chart, though. Like, you know, what this actually looks like to me? hold this thought. In fact, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you what this looks like to me. Anyway, I love this tool because this tool... You know, when I show this tool to people, they shut up and listen. Because of course you will. Because it puts everything in perspective. They're like, oh shit, Sammy, what did you just show me? I'm going to show you something very interesting now. We're going to move over to XRP. Alright, XRP army. Here's your warning for gore and serious destruction and violence. Because I'm about to go in on you guys. You're welcome to click off. Or not. It's fun for me if you don't click off. If we take a look at... Let's go for the Bittrex chart. It's just got more price history. You know, and I wanna look at... I mean, there's so many opportunities I could look at here. Let's just highlight this one. Let's highlight this one right here. So often that we do something like this, okay, where we... Well, let's just show you. All right, there you go. There you go. Where we do something a little bit like this. All right, and that's it. That's my point. That's my point. We play the chart forward now, and it's just so common that, you know, we have basically it's a very typical formula. It goes absolutely ridiculous. People are buying it not because they like it, because they think they can make some money off it. It obviously pops, all right, and then it just bleeds. I mean, just bleeds, absolutely bleeds. But then every now and then you get something that excites you. And I know this doesn't look like much right now, but first of all, we're on the log scale, so let's turn that off. Second of all, we're really zoomed out, so let's zoom in. Let's take a look at it from this perspective. Third, we're on the weekly time frames. Let's go on the daily. This was a really explosive rally. From the low to the high, Ripple doubled. So that's a big deal. You know, a lot of people would have been very excited by that kind of move. Now let's move back to Gala. I don't know the percentage move here, and to be honest with you, it doesn't matter. But let's take a look anyway. From this low to its high, it's up by 300%. So that's a 4 times gain. That's way more impressive than what Ripple pulled off. But it's still the same formula. Like, it's the same thing that happened right here. Take a look at this. From this low to this high, we're up by 150%, which makes sense. It's very much in line with what we'd expect, given that Gala was at a much higher price level at this point. We saw the very same thing, where if we replay the chart back, look at this. It's like, are we recovering? You know, if we manage to break above this, are we getting back up to this area? Because there's an empty gap right here, right? Big price action happening in this range, where generally we just zip straight up to the next key level. But we didn't manage to do that, and it turned out to be a typical bear market rally before we set new lows within the market cycle. And it takes a while. This is why shitcoin holders get such a bad treatment. And it's why, you know, I'm so vehemently against holding shitcoins, and I have been for years, and it served me incredibly well, is because when this shit goes bad especially, you have a very high probability of being extremely emotionally distressed for a very long time, being stuck in a coin that, like, won't even really hit its low for way longer than you'd be willing to believe. You know, like, from this point where this rally, you know, the dreams of this rally started to evaporate. Like, look at this, from its high over here, 5 days to drop down by 30%. But to retrace most of the move, it took 2 weeks. And after those 2 weeks, you're still waiting more than 1 month to set a new low. How long does it actually take to set a new low, to get below right here? After we retrace most of the move, you're still waiting another 60 days just to set a new low. Alright? And of course, if we replay the chart and we look at where we are now, we're nowhere near being up here. You know, so God forbid you held a coin since here, which you obviously have. Most of you guys that are in Gala, obviously you bought your coin over here or over here and nowhere else. No one's getting interested in Gala here or here. You know, you've probably been holding it all this fucking time. You know, from that high down to where we are right now, you're down by 86%. From this high down to this low, you're down by 80%. You're basically eating another 70% loss on top of that. I mean, your money has evaporated. It's finished. It's gone. I say the same shit every single bear market cycle. I say the same thing. And I want to give a shout out to those of you that actually heed my warnings, because obviously it's saved you from losing a lot of money. For some people it's too late, I understand, you know, but you can only do better moving forward. It's a really tough pill to swallow, because you want to think that there's something you can do, but I've been in your position. If that's you, if what I've just been describing is you, I've been in that position way more times than I want to admit on camera, and there is no solution I've ever found. There's no solution I've ever seen anyone find, to be quite honest with you, other than just getting it right moving forward. And I know that you won't want to hear this, but yeah, that's what it is. And it fucking sucks, but it won't suck 6 months from now if you start playing your cards right. That's my take. Right, that's what I think. You know, and this is exactly the kind of thing that we, you know, build traders to be able to do inside of Forthfly's VIP, which you can join by following this link in the description. It's going to take you to my free Telegram channel. You get more free analysis from myself and my team. You can click on my name and then click on message to ask me how to join. Puts you in a direct chat with me. We can get you inside. That's one of the key things I'm going over, and of course I've got the whole Forthfly's Academy course as well, teaching you everything I know about trading, and then VIP, allowing you to watch me implement everything I know about trading as well. So very, very important stuff there. Smash up the likes if you're enjoying this so far. To give some actual analysis on Gala, though, yeah, like I said, you know, I think it's at a bit of resistance now. I think it could still rise within this resistance level, but it's not really going to get exciting, in my opinion, until it breaks 6 cents. You know, and then there's a nice gap until about 8 cents, 8 point whatever cents. That's where it potentially gets interesting again after that. You know, but that is potentially a fairly far away. You know, and then obviously if it breaks that resistance, then yeah, I mean, it really could go anywhere. So that's where it definitely starts to get a little bit more exciting. I know I did say that I'd look at XRP, so let's actually give that some analysis just while Bitcoin's potentially trying to break out. XRP at 39 cents, pretty much exactly where it's been since May of last year. Wow, XRP hasn't done anything. The thing about XRP is it moves in its own way, right? I mean, it's almost like not even a crypto. Like it almost just kind of like just does whatever the fuck it wants. You know, and I think that's important to keep in mind, is that you can't really chart XRP in the same way that you can chart other coins. XRP moves in its own way. It obviously has its, you know, huge pump and dumps. I don't know how people can like a coin like this, you know, after seeing a chart like this. It's just so disgusting. I really don't understand how people like coins like this, but anyway, it's, you know, obviously probably going to have another big pump at some point again, and it's obviously probably going to go exactly the same way as every single other pump that XRP has ever had. You know, which is to say that most people that get in will lose money, and then they'll be holding on to it, just like I showed you with Gala, for way too long, making, you know, way too big of a loss, and just like not fucking letting go of your bag because you're too emotionally attached, because you shouldn't have been in the markets anyway. So you didn't know what you were doing, you had no fucking financial discipline, you started buying shit you shouldn't have bought, and then you realize you're underwater, and you don't want to sell because, yeah, like I said, you're emotionally attached to your bags, you know. And if I'm striking a nerve, then I'm doing it on fucking purpose, because you need to do something to fix that, you know, that poor trading attitude, because it's not going to serve you. So, you know, TA wise for XRP, you know, I mean, it's hard to say. I don't see any real structure here. You know, if I had to point at something, if I really had to point at something, I would talk to you about this parallel channel that XRP is in, with this one big exception right here. This is bearish, so, you know, maybe that's something, but you know, I mean, if the rest of the market is moving up, ultimately the thing about a coin like XRP is if Bitcoin is moving up and, you know, it's in a bull market, and then other coins starts rallying, you know, it doesn't really matter where XRP is. XRP could be anywhere on this chart, it wouldn't really matter. It's probably eventually going to pump massively. So you know, that's my take there. Is it gonna pump massively from down here, you know, pump massively like this, or is it gonna pump massively from like here, like this? I don't know. You know, but it's probably going to happen. Let's take a look at CRO. Got some requests for that as well. This is the wrong chart. I don't know why I pulled that up. Wow, okay, I didn't know that CRO dropped this hard. Wow, that's quite a big deal, isn't it? Let's see what we've got here on this chart then, huh? Yeah, so again, at resistance, pretty much broken it though. I'd probably draw it something a little bit like this, and I'm interested in this level. All the charts are the same, guys. They really are the same. You know, these coins don't actually move as independently as you probably think they do. You know, they're all going to be moving more or less like Bitcoin. So that's what I'm seeing for CRO. It's the same deal. This is a more risky chart, though. I don't actually like this. Is CRO available on Bybit? I'm sorry, on OKX? I'm curious if it's available on OKX. I'm guessing no. Oh, it is. Wow. Okay. Yeah, fucking everything. So, you know, I mean, this is obviously tradable, but it's like, look at the wicks. Like, these wicks make it really dangerous to trade. It does these scam wicks a lot. Look at these wicks, guys. Look at this. A lot of wicks. Look at this one. Huge. Doesn't give me a whole lot of confidence to trade something like this. You know, I think there are better opportunities in the market. You know, safer opportunities, crucially, in the market. So that's what I'm looking at. Let's take a quick peek at gold as well. Gold is open right now. Fallen down. It's very, very interesting. I mean, it's just not a normal day in the markets today. Bitcoin's just way too strong compared to everything else right now. It's unusual. We don't see this generally. It's very clear that all that FTX drama has been washed out. It was hard to believe for a lot of people, but it was one of the key predictions I was making when we were down at like 17k. I was saying that, you know, quite a lot. Bharat Agrawal, my bad. Shout out to my boy Sammy for always keeping it real. Dude, thank you so much. Shout out to you, mate, for being an absolute legend. Very, very cool guy. I shouldn't check CRO on KuCoin. Okay, my bad. It's not really going to make a difference, though, is it? You know, if I look at it on something else. I don't know which market has more liquidity. I'm guessing Coinbase, probably. But they don't have price history, right? So it doesn't matter. I mean, I'm looking for a chart with history. And the wicks, okay, yes, maybe the wicks was a little bit of a misleading analysis then, but it still basically tells us the same thing, right? I mean, it's still a very, very volatile coin. And that's one of the main reasons that I kind of don't like how it looks at the moment. Hello from Austria. Yo, what's up? How you doing, mate? From Vienna? It's the only city in Austria I know. But then again, doesn't Austria only have one city? I don't know, probably not. I probably pissed some people off with that. No, it definitely doesn't only have one city. I'm sorry. I made myself sound very stupid there. Yeah, no. I take that back. Austria's a weird place, man. It's beautiful, but it's weird. It's like... It's so like... When I went there, I felt like... They kind of just wanted to be left alone. Check the Bitcoin chart now. Oh, there we go. There's the breakout. There is the breakout. Well, yeah, not quite, but... If we zoom in... Yeah, look at that. We're starting to... So this is it, you know, we get above this wick, probably get a boost up to this wick. If we get above this wick, we're in new territory. Is it true that when oil crashes we hit resection? I'm guessing you mean recession, and I wouldn't say so, no. I wouldn't say so. Yeah, look at that. Bitcoin's really pushing right now. It's really going for it. Very, very cool indeed. Very, very cool indeed. Are we going to hit 24.5 today? We could do it in the next few minutes, mate. Could do. I mean, you know, there's not really much stopping Bitcoin right now. There was nothing stopping Bitcoin in the first place anyway once we got above 23.8. Dubai has one city. Yeah, that's true. But Dubai's not a country. Despite what a lot of people think. Which is funny. Someone wants me to look at Tesla. I haven't done stocks in a while. Let's take a look at Tesla. What does this mean? Is it closed? Oh, it's an evening market. Yeah, Tesla's just at resistance. I mean, it's obviously doing well, but it's at resistance. Tesla's chart is messy. I don't like this chart. 250 to 300 is a nice range, but I don't like this chart. See what else we have here in the comments. If you've got any more questions, let me know. How far are we until the okay, we got 2 hours left until this updates. To be honest, I don't know if I'm still going to be here in 2 hours. That hunger is definitely catching up with me. I'm feeling a shawarma today. Haven't had a shawarma in a while. If we have any more questions about Bitcoin, the markets, just broader concepts, let me know. I don't want to look at shitcoins anymore. I've kind of had my shitcoin dose for the week, or for the month, or the year, or a lifetime. But if we want to talk about, you know, the bigger, better assets, then let me know. Yeah, let's stay zoomed in. Looks like this is what's interesting at the moment. When do I think the pump would end? Well, as far as like an actual date, I have no idea, but a few things that could cause a problem for this pump would be higher interest rates, big interest rate hikes. It would be Bitcoin reaching key levels of resistance like 30k, 40k, 64, 69k, 53, whatever. You know, like just key levels on the chart that are resistance could cause problems for Bitcoin. Look at this. So we cleared this wick. We didn't fly up to the next one, and we're pulling back a little bit now. You know, that would these are the kind of things that I think could stop the pump for Bitcoin. You're asking what could stop the pump right now. You know, I think it's if there's, you know, it doesn't really apply now, but what I said earlier in the live stream is that, you know, you could, as we're reaching these levels, have sellers step in and be like, you know what, I wanna offload my Bitcoins here because I'm in a nice profit, right? So, you know, one of the key things that happens when the price, you know, rises up by this much, although it didn't necessarily happen on this occasion, is that nobody is selling. You know, and that's kind of what we saw, especially like when we set this high right here, for example, is that there was a decent amount of volume. It's hard to see because it's quite faint, but there was a decent amount of volume, but it wasn't crazy, right? Like the volume wasn't like absolutely ridiculous. And I think that's an important thing to bear in mind, because if you're not getting that much volume, it just means that nobody's selling. But when that selling pressure does come in the market, if there wasn't that much buying to begin with, there was just no selling. When the selling pressure does come in, it can crash the market. So that's one of the things that could really cause a problem for Bitcoin. You know, probably the end of the trading week, Friday, I don't know. It's a weird question, but I mean, for the end of the pump now, I think, yeah, if we just kind of turn off the faucet of buying and we start turning on the faucet of selling, that's what could... It's so weird. Everyone comes to me with questions like, should I buy now or wait? Like, bro, Bitcoin's up like 8.5% today. You know, Bitcoin from its low, you know, basically like 2 days ago, is up by 13%. You know, Bitcoin since like the last fucking month, you know, is up by like 36%, and you're asking me if you should buy now? You know what I mean? Like, it's, I mean, first of all, I'm not going to answer it anyway, because I'm not anyone's financial advisor, but at the same time, like, fuck, you know, we need to be a little bit more switched on than this, guys. You know, like, it's not, you're not going to get yourself far if the only time that you start asking, should I buy, is when the market has already pumped up by so much. Obviously, yeah, if I didn't have any crypto, like I said earlier, I would be buying now because, well, I'd have no crypto. I'd be feeling very worried if I didn't have crypto. It doesn't matter where the price is, because crypto is better than fiat. But, But I mean, yeah, we're so high now. You know, oh, there it is. There's the breakout. We're so high now. You know, what I would like to do is buy pullbacks. You know, and it might very well be the case that like we rise up to here, and then I buy a pullback here, which means I'm getting a worse entry level than right now, or a worse entry level than like a few hours ago. But at least I know I'm buying a pullback, and that can give me some more confidence that I might actually be making the right call. So, you know, that's kind of how I would answer your question there, to be honest. I can't answer it directly necessarily, but that's probably what I'd be looking at. Look at that breakout right there. That's coming in. I guess the other key level that I'd be looking at buying Bitcoin at would be above resistance here, because like I said, you know, this is a huge trade. There's a huge trade that I'm going to be looking to take. I'm going to be making that trade on OKX, as I mentioned earlier, up to 30k in rewards, guys. Huge offer right there, well worth taking advantage of. I'll be making that trade on OKX if we manage to see those kind of price levels, most likely. And so that's a level that, but this would be a leverage long, you see. I wouldn't be buying, but it is the same thing as buying. It's just a more aggressive version of buying. You know, so a breakout is nice because you can kind of like, you know, put it this way, the likelihood of getting up to 30k now is like, let's say X%. But in my head, the likelihood of getting up to 30k if we cross resistance becomes half of X. Like, the risk is cut in half. We're double as likely to get there if we rise up by another 4 or 5%. That's my perspective. That's what I think. You know, like the risk of being wrong significantly drops down if you sacrifice a little bit of reward. Very, very important concept there. You know, but that's just what I think, and it doesn't mean I'm right or anything, obviously. I'm gonna long from 22 to 05, but it took most profit on the way up. That's still very good. Congratulations. Only 20% remaining. Do you think it makes sense to add to the position? Fuck no. Again, not your financial advisor, dude, but adding to a position is almost always a bad idea, in my opinion. I've never seen that go well for myself, to be honest. I don't know about other people, but it doesn't really work out usually. It's a pretty bad strategy in the experience that I've had. No, with situations like that, you just you be grateful for the profit you made, and you pack your shit up, and you oh shit, and you fight another day. That's what you do. Let's see what else we have here. You look beautiful. Thank you very much, man. Appreciate that. What's my next take profit? I'm in a car. I just joined and I can't read the chart. Well, drive safe. I would say if you're in a car, leave a comment, but that would be very irresponsible of me. So if you're in a car, I don't know, just like the live stream when you're done or something. My next take profit, I'm not going to be taking profits, dude. Probably at like 30k I would look to sell some Bitcoin, but I feel like that's a little bit too predictable, so I'm not sure. But I'm not looking to cash out any Bitcoin. I've been holding on to my Bitcoin all the way down, and I'll keep holding it all the way up as well if we keep moving up. Where did I buy my glasses from? These are Porsche design glasses. I'm pretty sure I got them in Dubai, which is where I live. Some coins I do get emotionally attached to, and it's my downfall sometimes. Not always, but 80% of the time. Oh man, yeah. And this is the thing, is like if you're getting emotionally attached to any coin, you're just not cut out to trade. You know, you probably just shouldn't trade. Or you need to like seriously reconsider like unfucking your mindset before you start trading again. I'm in a boat right now. That is cool. In a boat. Where are you going, Alan? In a boat. That's fucking sick. Who else is on a boat today? Who else is on a boat? I'm curious. Yeah, Porsche has like a sister company called Porsche Design, and they do a bunch of like, you know, like wearing material stuff. I don't know what you call it, like clothing, and that includes glasses. What's my opinion on a short scalp here? You know, I thought about it. This is a big fucking train, though. I just don't want to jump in front of it. You know, I don't like that kind of idea. Dubai is very hot. Yeah, mate, it is, like, literally very hot. Look at this. We're rallying up right now. We are potentially setting a new high right now. Could happen any moment. That is definitely quite exciting. I want a boat to 30k. Phenomenal. Got in this move from 21.4, took 50% profit at 24.1. Very good. Very good. Waiting to get back in with the other 50. Any reason we pump so hard? Not necessarily, man. We don't need a reason, do we? Bottom line, we had a pullback. You know, we fell down to our fib retracement. I mean, you know, everyone's going to be scrambling for a news article to explain this away, but ultimately no one fucking knows. You know, we've just got the technicals to tell us that we bounced off the 3.3 to 3.82 gap, which is exactly where you would expect a lot of support anyway. You know, and I think that's all that that needs to be said about that, to be honest. It doesn't really matter, like, what the, you know, news article explanation is. You know, is it that Russia unbanned Bitcoin today or some fucking bullshit? You know, like, it doesn't matter. There's always something, but, yeah, that's happening right now. We are at the high right now. Huge. Watching you from Mexico. What's up? How you doing? Carol? Very, very cool. If you have been enjoying this live stream so far, guys, do me a favor and smash up the likes. It goes a very long way. And I do appreciate it very, very much when you do that. If you can't or don't want to, obviously that's totally fine. But if you do, that would be very, very nice. I've already covered things like Shiba. Hi from Germany, how you doing? I'm actually going to be in Germany at some point soon. So that's cool. I already mentioned Shiba, yeah, just kind of rewind and all that. Oklahoma. I want to go to Oklahoma. Don't know why, I just want to see the states that are... Is that a state? I'm pretty sure that's a state, right? Or is it Oklahoma City? I don't even know. Yeah, it's pulling back. Look at this. Like, as it's pulling back, it's getting bought back up. So, like, we've got wicks to the upside, wicks to the downside. If we find ourselves back in the middle, then we default, in my view, to the existing trend, which is up. So that's a good sign. That's if we keep pulling back. We might not, obviously. That's hard to say. Glad you found the live stream. I got a subscriber. Thank you very much. From New Zealand. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. That's very, very cool. Got Budapest, Florida, Slovenia, Austria. Oklahoma's a state? Okay. Looks crazy on the daily chart. Let's take a look at this on the daily. I mean, this is a very, very big candle, right? So there's 90 minutes left on this candle, and from our open to our current close, we're up by 9%. And again, I just want to put this in perspective for you guys. This was a big candle, but this was only 5.5%. This was a big candle. This one here, this was only 5%. Candle open to candle close, 5%. Let's look at some other big candles. Open to close, 10%, 10.4. Some other big candles, 8%, 8%. Another big one right here, 7.5. This is a huge one. Let's see what this was. Look at that. That's 14%. You know, but it's very clear that we're not producing this kind of pump often. We're not doing this often. It's a really big deal. It was a big deal back here. And that's why I was so bullish about Bitcoin. And it's kind of looking similar now too. So that's check the volume on the big candles. I mean, you know, nothing crazy. We don't even have crazy volume today, you know, which is kind of annoying, to be honest. I would have liked to see. I mean, it's okay. And to be fair, this is only Coinbase. You know, so it's not like fully representative of the market, but we don't have crazy volume today. Some of the other big candles. Yeah, the volume is not like the best thing to look at, in my opinion. Check out the dollar double bottom retesting, it seems. Interesting. Let's see what the dollar's doing. Sorry, guys. I don't know about a double bottom, to be honest. I'm not seeing a double bottom. It is just pulling back a little bit. I think that's, yeah. Someone already said that. That's potentially why the dollar is that's potentially why Bitcoin's moving up. It's because the dollar's pulling back. The fact that the volume is low tells me this rally will not last. I agree with you, man. I agree with you. But the thing is it's just not a very reliable indicator. So yeah, it might not last, but it might still last for a long time first, you know, before it stops. That's the catch, I guess, about this. But dollar is not looking. Oh, thank you guys. Saying bless you. Dollar's not looking like concerning by any means, but I think, yeah, the fact that it's pulled back has definitely had some bearing on Bitcoin. That makes sense. Probably. Oh, S&P's closed now, obviously. Wow, I've been streaming for a while because the S&P was open when I was streaming, when I started streaming. That's cool. That's very, very cool. Just need one whale to pump the price. Yeah, we do, but you know, those kind of pumps are short-lived. You don't really have a lot of exit liquidity. Sky Capital is saying retrace down to 19k. You know what? Like, I almost like that idea because I just feel like it's so unexpected. But yeah, I mean, I don't want to see us going back down there again. What's coming first, 20 or 30k? I mean, you know, at this rate, obviously it's looking more like 30k, right? We're closer to 20k, but not by much. And the thing is there's a lot between Bitcoin and 20k right now. You know, there's a lot of support that Bitcoin has on this chart, but as far as resistance goes, there's just like one little line, and it's not even that significant in my opinion, and that's it. I don't see anything else as far as resistance goes between Bitcoin and 30k. So, you know, by 30k, I mean, you know, if we hit 29 or whatever, that's the same thing in my head. So, you know, I think 30k looks a lot more achievable right now, for sure. Bear market is officially over. Look at that. That's it. You see, when I start seeing a lot of sentiment like this, that's where I'm like, you know, starting to be like, all right, guys, what the fuck is going on? You know, like, let's talk about what's actually going on. Let's see the long short ratio, if it's updated at all. Doesn't look like it. Over the last like 4 hours, what are we looking at? It's actually not too bad. Yeah. Pretty even. Alright guys, I will be honest with you, I'm pretty tired right now. I've been on stream for nearly 2 hours and I am maxing out. So what I'm going to do is come back to you guys for another live stream, probably tomorrow. Make sure you are subscribed so you catch that. And there are a lot of amazing opportunities in this market right now. There's a lot of amazing volatility. I've been trading it. VIPs have been watching me do that, and OKX is the place to be. I want you guys to check them out if you're looking for a safe place to be executing your trades, you know, where you have up to 30k to get in rewards. The next trades that I'll be making, I have already mentioned to you, I'll be doing on OKX. Many of you guys have already been using it, so shout out to those of you who have taken advantage of these 30k in rewards. The very cool thing again about OKX is you get up to 10k in a mystery box just for registering an account. You get another 10k, you get up to another 10k just for depositing 50. and then if you start trading, you can boost that all up to 30. Absolutely amazing, very, very impressive. What you can get with OKX right here. You know, and again, this is an amazingly reliable, you know, exchange that's been around for a very long time. So I definitely want you guys to check them out. You know, if that's something you're interested in, these are free things that you get. You know, and they are potentially, you know, very, very, very powerful for you in these markets. So, look, if something absolutely crazy happens, I'll probably come back with a video. But I've maxed out. I've had a very long day, and it's time for me to go. I know some of you are saying to stay, but yeah, that shawarma, I don't know. I might just fast, to be honest. Maybe just like really hit the gym tomorrow, like hit it hard, something like that, and then eat well tomorrow. Cause it's late now. It's pretty late. But yeah, guys, thank you all for tuning in. Again, one final time, OKX. VIP if you want to join. Steps are on screen. These 3, you know, boxes here. Well, there's 4 boxes, but my Telegram channel, then my name, and then send message. These 3 clicks will get you into a direct chat with me. You can ask me about how to join VIP. Again, huge offer right here. There's just too much up for grabs to not, you know, take advantage of it. And again, there is a little quiz. You know, when you start entering the margin trading side of things, which is obviously what, you know, most of you are probably interested in. Don't worry about it. Again, just do your best on the quiz. You'll be okay. And just make sure you know what you're doing. That's the key thing. You know, if you're going to trade anything, make sure you know what you're doing. Thank you all so much. Make sure you hit up the likes and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Tick the bell so you get notified for the next live stream and so on. You know I'm going to be here anyway. And I'll see you all in the next one. Cheers.